This interview is brought to you by Verizon. When the Navy and the Marine Corps look to securely and effectively modernize their network and voice communications in the continental United States or outside the contiguous United States, Verizon's suite of services, solutions, and contract vehicles are there to help meet mission needs.
Hi, I'm Amy Kluber, Editor-in-Chief at GovCIO Media and Research. We're sitting here at AFCEA TechNet Indo-Pacific. I'm here with Dwayne Florenzie. He is the Cyber Senior Project Manager at DIU. Welcome, Dwayne.
All right, great. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks so much.
So what brought you to DIU?
So I've been with DIU about half a year now, and thoroughly enjoying it. It's been a great place for me. It's interesting, DIU tends to pull in people what they call to have dual fluency. That means experience with government as well as experience in industry. And so I used to be active duty in the Air Force, working in Hong Kong and Japan in international relations type work. And then I was in industry with Cisco, Lucent Technologies, which is now Nokia Bell Labs, and then also GE Digital, and especially in the telecom area. And so a couple of guys within the cyber and telecom team pulled me in and said, hey, let's take advantage of your dual fluency background. And it's really been great. Anyway, DIU has been a fun place. One more thing, I think that this is a very exciting time to be joining DIU. A year ago, DIU became a direct report to the Secretary of Defense. And Congress is allocating significant money to DIU as well. So I think a lot of people see it as an opportunity to really accelerate innovation. So it's really a pleasure to be there at this time.
Fantastic. I know DIU is so close to a lot of the cool technology that is happening in the private sector that you came from. It's also trying to bring that into the department, which of course DoD is really prioritizing that right now. So what are some of your biggest priorities given your area focus in cyber and telecom?
Yeah, so I have a 5G mobile communications background, and so that's been a big area, and so focusing in on how telecom. And that's really a foundation for so many advanced technologies coming about. So actually, even with DIU, I'm actively involved in a lot of the different portfolios. So with autonomy in terms of resilient communications, how even drones communicating with each other, satellite and space has now become a big area as well. And so how 5G and space interaction for communications is really going to increase. And then spectrum is another area in terms of, especially in contested areas, really making sure that we understand how we can be resilient in our communications.
Awesome. It's kind of interesting to pair those two sides together for that to be a primary portfolio focus for the organization.
Right, yeah. So again, I'm seeing it's a big foundation for all of it. And I guess even on terms of 5G, 5G is really just still at its early stage. A lot of people even still see it as just an extension of 4G, but if people are familiar, there's a 5G triangle, and the enhanced broadband is only one part of it. It's the other two parts, the connecting to everything, the Internet of Things, and then the extremely low latency, almost no delay. And we've never had a capability where you have all those parts together. And then with the emergence of artificial intelligence, to pull all that information together and be able to make immediate decisions is really transformational. And I guess one more thing really to that is that each generation of technology has basically lasted a decade. And so we're only into about 4 years of 5G. So we're just starting now to see these other two areas that I was talking about coming to fruition. And so I think we've got a lot still to go in terms of really impacting our society, our economy, and also innovations.
It's still a long road to go, but a lot of people, they do talk about 6G and the future G. So What are your thoughts on that?
So, well, I think that the main point of that is that it has a future. We're coming into what they call 5G advanced, and then there'll be 6G, and then there'll be further on. And so that part's going to take place, but there's a lot of use cases that are pretty close now that we can start tapping into. Private networks is here now, and I think for DoD, that's one where I'm excited about because you can take that into the tactical range, and where we have a forward operating base and be able to have mesh networks or have perimeter security or have a portable network that you can go into a austere environment and really have communications almost immediately is pretty strategic as well as significant.
So what impacts do you see 5G really having on the department when you speak about, kind of bringing the connectivity into austere environments?
Right.
Do you see that impact growing in the near future?
So I think this is one where both our world situation and technology is moving so quickly that we can't keep up with it. And I think this is one where DIU can play an even more role of trying to move us forward, and not just manage or deal with the change, but actually get ahead of it and really see where things are going. And I think the tactical environment where we're bringing that communication across with all different methods, so if one method fails, we can move to another. I think that's that robustness that is going to really help us enable us for the future, especially, as I said, with the world situation and the type of conflicts we may face.
Absolutely. So where do you see AI in this conversation? I know you brought that up earlier. It is its own portfolio in DIU, but it's so pervasive on everything.
Right.
So what are your thoughts on that?
So it's critical. It's already being, some people may be afraid of it, where it's going and all, but it's already been around for a long period of time. When I worked at Cisco, we acquired a company that optimized base stations, the radios. And so you got the best power, got the best connections for the users. And as there's a proliferation of these base stations, there's no way you could have the efficiency if you didn't have artificial intelligence in order to collect that information and then make those immediate decisions. And I see the same thing now happening out in the battlefield in terms of being able, there's so much data out there, and to be able to capture it and make those immediate decisions is really critical. And there's no way we could do it on ourselves. And it doesn't take the person out of it. It gives a vast amount of information so that the people can make their important decisions at the right time.
Well, this was a fascinating look at some of the work that you're involved in and how DIU is really kind of impacting that conversation. So thank you.
Great. What a pleasure. Thank you.